But this goes even further. So please believe when I say the piece of the November 28th dev stream that I'm most excited about is the signature weapon releasing with the old piece.
Okay.
There is nothing in my mind that is cooler than what we're going to show. So it's awesome.
What was that t-shirt? What was that t-shirt you were posing with, Rebecca?
Someone brought a Naked Lotus shirt, and I was like, all right, well, I'll sign it.
The amount of times I was asked, did you see what Rebecca tweeted out? The t-shirt she was posing with while I was streaming over the weekend, and I was like, yeah, I seen it. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, okay, we've all seen Mom naked. Enough, move on. Yeah.
Oh.
You guys normally have several frames being worked on, and Uriel I'm thinking he's the last one for this year, right? So have you already, I think he said last time he's normally 2 or 3 ahead. So I'm fishing here for a little, okay? How many of you's ahead now?
Well, I'm at least 4 ahead now.
Oh, wow. Okay, I was expecting 3 again before.
We are officially, yeah, we're stacked for things to come.
Okay, I'll leave that at that. I won't go on any further.
I'll take guesses, so we can't be we're good. So
no, because I've already mentioned one several times.
The warlock.
I swear to God, if you have a dinosaur frame, have you? Because now, Rebecca, last time you said there's no such thing as a spider frame, and you went for weeks. You were saying no spider frame, and all of a sudden, boom, spider frame. Now the running joke is dino frame. If you could have a dinosaur frame, what dinosaur would it be?
It would have to be in the Rex family, but I could see a pterodactyl being pretty cool too.
But then you'd have to rig it for flying.
Well,
yeah.
And then Uriel as a meteor could just wipe it out. So that's what happened to the dino frame.
There we go. Okay, already. He hasn't even been released yet and he's already extinct, gone. Jump to Uriel. So Uriel is or was Minky's vision, okay? Now as a team, and of course he has his friends as well, how does it feel seeing Uriel, I'm going to say take flight because he can fly. Do you guys think that the frame, I guess, reflects maybe the tribute that you hope to make in relation to Minky's creativity and spirit?
I hope so. That's all you can do is hope for it. And you just knowing the details we had and the last sketch that we ever really got of a complete feel that something that was like a collaborative, we want to do a devil frame, and he was like, oh well, what if it had minions like little creatures and all these things. So we kept all of the spirit of all that alive. And I think at one point Pablo and I were going back and forth about what to do about minions or anything, like how do we fit it, and he said, I'm gonna make this work with minions, with summons, so it feels like what Minky put on paper. So it was never a question about moving the direction out of what we had from those pencil sketches, which will be very impactful for us behind closed doors and the community that knows the contributions of Minky to all things Warframe art. It's very
and he looks fantastic, like with the animated tail, with everything you guys showed. And then you mentioned his 3 companions, right? Tell me if I'm right. Galfagor, Cathanak, Gulfagor, Gathanak, and Vithalis.
That's right. Catnac is a little Gaelic inspired, so I don't know if it actually comes through.
It would be a little bit. It would be. I guess it'd be the CH maybe.
The Catnac.
He said that they're basically he works, I think Pablo said, as a reverse summon. That they're more or less like the devil's on his shoulder, if you will, type of vibe. I'm not going to ask too much because I don't want spoilers or that, but are they fully autonomous, as in they go around doing their own thing, or it's hard to ask questions about them because I know that can they take damage?
No-ish. You'll see. So the general sentiment and the picture to paint yourself after what you saw in the dev stream is they're going to be going and doing stuff and you can react to them. So it's very much they're so quick and they're so aggro, let's say, that your gameplay flow state is, does so-and-so have an enemy in a thing? Boom. And you just kind of are reacting to like the Lord Devil and all his little imps, and you're just
that sounds really good. I kind of figured that's what it was going to be. It was going to be along the lines of what Koma's not Koma's kind of rolling of the dice, where she would have to do certain things to meet certain criteria, if you will.
It's a much simpler. Yeah, I think it'll be very clear on the dev stream just how these fellas go out there and do your bidding.
Are they all voiced?
No, they're not voiced.
Well, no. Maybe that might have actually. Maybe if it was too much, I might got annoying after a while.
Yeah, a little, but
cool,
they're
could have been cool though.
I don't know if the sound design is completely done on them yet though, but I haven't heard any voices, so I don't think so. They might have like identities, let's say, or vocalizations, you could argue, but not like I'm gonna go get this guy.
Yeah, because I think if you had like that or kind of some mad scientist kind of voiced thing, after a while it might just become a little bit too.
Yeah, I don't think you'll get that.
So his flight form that you showed off, was that could you aim that directional, or was that like a dash? Like it was proper true flight, like 3D kind of flight. It wasn't like a dash, like in one direction and you turn in another direction. Okay.
Nope, that was just my mouse going.
That's why you kept hitting the wall.
Well,
I never hit the wall.
You didn't at all. You didn't.
No, I weaved in and out of chains. Like, come on. Okay. Give me some credit. Why am I even here?
Does he have Clark? His never mind Clark, right? The other thing was you have now fine-tuned damage attenuation a fair few times over the last couple of months. Do you feel like he's finally kind of hit that sweet spot, or do you still have more fine-tuning in either direction with it?
I think the answer to that is like we're open to fine-tuning stuff, because that's kind of what the original ask was like, it touches a lot, like let us know where it got a little too heavy-handed or it doesn't feel good. And that's kind of, as you mentioned, what we've done is taken that feedback and made the changes. So yeah, if someone comes to us with something that's like so egregious, we're like, oh yeah, that's not a feel-good thing. And obviously what we're working on now and what we'll continue to work on, like damage attenuation matters for that too. So how does it affect that? We need to balance that. But I think overall, especially after the feedback we got that we asked for and the changes we made, it feels in a good place now, because obviously we're in a place where we're not hotfixing, so we were confident enough in it to like step away and be like, okay, let's work on the old piece, like you're okay for now, still reading feedback of course, but it's in a good place now. And like I said, if someone brings something to the table that's like, oh yeah, we need to tweak that a little bit, then we will.
Before we get to, I guess, the old piece and everything that's coming with that update, Clark did give me a few questions, okay, that he was going to ask, and I was like, right, okay, so I'll throw them out there, okay. So the teacher quest got a good bit of feedback from you when it went live with the last update, but how did you see it, or what way did you read the feedback? Are you planning on tweaking things up in relation to the teacher quest, or is there more stages to it? Like that was like teacher quest number 1 and then there's going to be teacher quest number 2, or is that it kind of done and moving on?
Well, it's definitely for someone that has never played Warframe in their life. So I think like the type of feedback that was like, oh, you should teach people about, and no one said this, I'm just being direct in terms of how a lot of it came through, which was, like we're not going to teach faction mods, we're not going to teach like all those types of things in the quest. This was just like core the fact that mods exist and polarities exist and elements exist 101. The community team already did a re-release of one of the lines about electricity mods, and generally speaking, as far as a modding quest goes that sets Teshin up as a character to push you through the system, we're done. However, as far as early game quests goes, we're definitely going to go back to something else and see next year about what the next major cliff is, because we're basically building platforms on the fall off cliff when players stop. And as far as we know, this very day on November 10th, our retention has never been better. So we have done a good shift for a good chunk of players that signed up, and then it's now about looking for what is the next objectively impenetrable wall.
The next kind of stopping point for new players, more or less. The next, I get you. Because it was a really good introduction to Teshin. Like, it was definitely fantastic in that aspect. I know, but like Clark was just wondering about the modding side of things,
I think it depends. Honestly, it depends on longer review of the data. Like, okay, so is someone quitting the game now because they feel like a fool because they don't know what crit multipliers are? You know,
Yeah,
like you have to look. Like, does that make the game more fun to have someone explain to you how multiplication works? I don't know.
No, it would probably be too much info, and it would be a stopping point, wouldn't it? Yeah. Now, if there was any existing lore in Warframe that you could revisit, which would it be, or why? Without, like, see, this is one that could be, you could end up turning around and saying that, well, it could be something you're already working on or something you've already planned. But I don't want that. I want, if you could just pick something to maybe even a frame that doesn't have a codex entry. If you could give something to someone, or you could revisit some of the older stuff and expand further on it, what would you pick?
Megan, you put your hand up right away. What is it?
Yeah.
What?
Well, something that I've wanted, and players too.
Yeah,
is
but
the
mostly
Ordis
you.
Quest. It's like an Ordis backstory, hardcore. What are you all about? Give him his own quest. Come on, DE. Like, that's my boy. So that's what I would want.
The Beast of Bones? Is this the Beast of Bones gang once more rising
No,
up?
I'm not mentioning the Beast of Bones because that's the one that I would typically talk about, but because it's one of the ones that I would want as well.
Phil.
It's one of the ones I would go for, but there's also the Uvantero. You could go further into that aspect of it, or more rel. Frames like Banshee that don't have a proper full-length codex entry, things like that.
Well, if you're looking for rel lore, maybe you should talk to Leon in the Devil's Triad.
Yeah, well, we kind of assumed that there might be a few nuggets of information coming with him, right?
Yeah, but I think if I had all the time in the world, because obviously we have the ability and time aren't often in the same sentence. It's just the time. I think straightening out Alad V could be fun. Getting, there's 6 whatever versions, not actually 6, but there's many versions of him.
Yeah.
And he had something to say about the new war clearly, and then went sort of back into hiding after it.
Yeah.
And it could be interesting to do something there. I think Parvos has been fun to bring back a little bit, be it a Prime trailer. He was in the Protea Prime trailer VO, as well as Dante Unbound and stuff. The Corpus are pretty cool in that regard, and it might be nice to do something there. And then if I could truly change anything, yeah, I don't know. It'd be nice to give everyone Codex lore. It really would. Garuda, and what I think the joke is that all the Fortuna frames have no lore until Noko showed up. So
yeah,
Baruch, Hildren, Garuda. But
I mean, if you're going to talk about bringing Alad V back, then you have to look at Visor, right? You can't.
He's dead. He's dead. Let him die.
You sure? You said last time, Megan, he was still floating in space, and people took that seriously. So
in my dreams, he is. That's my man.
Yeah.
That's my man.
So
he's a hero. He's a hero.
What does the big picture, right? What does the old piece bring to Warframe that the game doesn't already have? If you were to pitch it to new players, what's the hook?
To new players?
Well, to players in general, I guess. What's the hook?
I think continuing the campaign is always a good one. Our latest cinematic adventure, it's an hour and a half-ish of pure cinematic. Well, not hour and a half of cinematics, but it's an hour and a half cinematic quest experience that continues the Warframe story. We take our single player campaign-ish very seriously since the Second Dream, and this is that it's that epic space opera story that goes on and on to teach you about another solar system. It's the beginnings of Warframe's biggest arc ever, so to speak, which is Tau.
The biggest arc
there's
ever.
Also, well, yeah, I think for me it's also because it's related to Tau. It's we finally get to see what Tau is like. We finally peel back that onion layer.
Yeah.
And we've heard about Tau for
over a decade.
Years.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a very long time. So it's we finally get a glimpse into what that is and setting that story up. So I think it's a world you haven't seen yet but heard about. But what does it look like, and what does it experience, and tragedy occurs.
Yeah. Between the old piece and I guess when we're going to visit it next year.
That's it.
You guys have said he's a skipping classic syndicates this time around with the update. So how is that going to, I guess, structure into the game or the update?
It was a matter of, I think, everyone feeling the syndicate It works well. That doesn't mean we want to do it every time for progression, because it becomes very, even if the flavor elements of the syndicate are wildly different, like there really is no syndicate like the Hex, right, where you can date and talk and go out and do bounties with them. It's a very strong syndicate offering as far as the tried and true progression model goes. But the reality is we did it for Angels of the Zariman, you know, we did it for Whispers in the Wall, and we've really done it a lot. So I guess we didn't do it at all for Deviri, we did intrinsics, but nevertheless, in this case, I think a lot of our team really were feeling like another syndicate.
I think burnout was the word, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was insofar as like, you know, they're not like, they are fun to make and write, of course, but to play, they become too familiar. So we said, all right, we're going to come up with brand new progression systems for this update. And one of them, luckily, allowed us to go back to focus, which is a huge... We haven't really touched focus since the waybounds and all the expansion with that type of thing.
Yeah.
And obviously we redid a lot of the focus abilities in the Angels of the Zariman, but we actually get to add more, add the tower on and all this good stuff. And that is a great way to do progression. And then on top of that, we had the opportunity to do a very, you know, top to bottom tower run, like floor 0 all the way to floor 21.
Oh yeah, I'm going to get to that in a minute, because there is similarities that people have pointed out with that. not similarities. That like Rebecca's been playing Final Fantasy.
Oh, Palace of the Dead. Or Tower on High. Anyway, we'll get to that later. But so anyway, with that all said, there were other opportunities for progression for a given update package that felt completely unique to what we were making, which is focus expansion and a very metaphorical Circles of Hell situation. So
yeah, I thought that was a really nice touch. He was using Dante on the dev stream as well. The 9 Circles of Hell. It was really good.
That's just because that's my boy. That's all I want to play.
Is that
right
literally
now.
Like right? Okay. So you didn't even think that one through, no?
I mean, yes, so intended.
Yeah, you're gonna take credit anyway. Credit anyway.
I'll be taking that.
Megan famously loves Dante's Inferno. It's her favorite poetry epic.
yeah.
But I have it tattooed on my back.
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
What was I gonna say? Yeah. So with because you showed the Terron strike, you showed the Unairu hammer, wasn't it? Yeah. And we've seen an Aramon sword. Are we going to see more of that at the end of dev stream at the end of the month?
Oh yeah. You're going to see all of it. So every single ultimate, what weapon represents that, because there's different, because you have the hammer, you got the sword, so what else?
Yeah, and the hammer looked like it generated energy and health orbs, and was there ammo and everything popping out of the ground as well? Or was that intended, or?
We'll leave that for the dev stream.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I didn't want to ask what any of the other stuff was.
Yeah, it was still like pretty work in progress. Like the team really rallied together to get it showable for the dev stream. But yeah, we'll show its more finite form on November.
And we're also going to see the other game mode. What was it again? The
Parisa Rebellion.
Right, so we'll get into the Descendia stuff, right? So it has that 9 Circles of Hell vibe, right? What tone are you aiming for in terms of like moment to moment? Because you said each layer is a level. Will roughly be about 2 minutes.
That's like what we're aiming for the absolute max. We're still fine tuning that. It's basically like upon average completion, because some floors will take 30 seconds. Like there's no doubt about that. So if you can do it in 7 floor chunks, ideally that's not taking much more than 14 minutes, so that the whole experience maybe would be about an hour, just under an hour, right? We got 21 floors. If you do 2 minutes per floor, could be nice.
That's normal. That's not Steel Path, right? So Steel Path might be.
Yeah, but even then, we're trying to make sure that the whole thing, maybe it's an hour for the whole thing.
Yeah.
And again, that's flexible, subject to change and all that. But the Descent, the Descendia, the whole angle is that it gives you a very clear thing to beat in a week with no randomization, so you can bring whatever gear you want. So it differs from the prior temporal and deep Archimedes in that they are
so there's no lockouts. If you don't have certain loadouts, you're not going to be, I guess, suffering from it. Okay.
Exactly. And no timer, no token. It's just it's very much what did we learn from the circuit and how can we apply that to something new? And it takes the perspective of the Devil of Tau you'll meet, and what that could mean for the characters, and how you as a player can do this while you're doing it, and of course the loot you'll get along the way, and then the
And
metaphor, of course, yes, being hell.
Is the loot randomized weekly, or is it pretty much the same
There's
thing?
It's a pretty good list of things that will be recurring. I think we could probably show it next dev stream because it'll be in by then, because it was all placeholder
Yeah. It was. I think
But
it was
it's,
just showing steel essence, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't look at that.
Yeah.
No, there'll be like the loot table, but it's like there's certain floors where you will get that loot, so it's not like random, like I got it on floor 1, you know what I mean? Like it's like
Yeah. So if you know, like, if Archon shards are going to be on floor 12, then you know that they'll only drop on floor 12, that type of thing.
Exactly,
Yeah, right.
exactly. You got it.
What is like in terms of, I guess, the randomization of bosses? Like, how big is the boss pool that you might see in it, or how big is the modifier pool? Because you showed.
How big is the boss pool?
You also
I
showed
saw actually a list. Hold
I
on
did too.
here.
I'm just trying to think of where I saw the list.
I
Yeah,
know.
You know where it is?
Yeah, I got it.
We're hoping for as much as we can possibly fit in. Like to be transparent, it's like, what boss fight makes sense to put in this context? You know, we were debating, do we show, because we're going to put Araxia in, for instance, but everyone just finished the Isle Weaver arc, so there's nothing really too sexy about showing Araxia on a dev stream because you just fought her. But Kullervo, it's been the better part of 3 years since he's gotten the spotlight.
Probably have to take the arena size into account as well for some of the bosses, right? Like, you're not going to have the Jordas Golem all of a sudden show up.
Exactly. So, do you have the list, Meg, or should I?
I thought I did, but it was a different boss that I had a list for.
You can talk about that one if you want.
Oh my god, I did something and I lost all your video. What have I done?
How dare you?
How do you more options? Grid view, got it. Anyway, yeah, I think I don't know what the exact number is, but of the ones I've personally seen and tested, we definitely have more than just Kullervo. You can expect a boss rotation with some additional warframes, like Araxia I mentioned, and some other bosses that we've
Sergeant.
Grow up.
Come on, you can have him on the first floor. It could just be an easy win. Literally, just
honestly,
Sergeant appears.
A 32nd floor, why not?
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And in the same kind of vein, I guess, the modifiers. How big is the modifier pool for it as well? Because there's quite.
Well, there's what we want and what's actually going to ship. So you know, we got until December to sort it out. But I think I saw at least 10 different modifiers. But some of them only work on some game modes. So we are currently we are in our own 20th circle of hell, trying to get them all shippable.
Yeah.
You saw fire chain enemies. You saw
the race.
The dark and the light ones. So yeah.
Yeah, the light slowed you down, wasn't it? And then there was the one where you had to hit the checkpoints. You had to get through it as quick as possible. Yeah.
Then there's some that are like favoring certain weapons and such. So
is Descendia closely tied to the actual Devil's Triad quest in terms of like
it's not
on
a
a
quest.
weekly? Well, okay, sorry, the group.
It is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's there's one thing I don't want to spoil about like how many fights there are, so I'll just keep that.
Yeah.
You'll see when you get to floor 21. It might be kind of obvious, but either way, at least I didn't say it out loud. And yes, you will be earning progress for
Visa War is on floor 21. Visa War is on floor 21.
Yes, that's right. He's not dead. He just got banished to hell.
Yeah.
He's in hell. Oh,
Yeah.
he deserved that. Come on.
You said he was
Banished.
dead. I mean,
Well, that is true. He could be in hell. He was a taxman after all.
would it been? There's no leaderboards or anything like that. It's not like a speed run type of thing where it's just. I'm not going to say casual, but it's just basically a more simplified end game kind of, I guess, scenario, or not even end game. The steel path would be that. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a weekly
It's
chill,
a
I
weekly
guess.
activity. Yeah.
I think it would be cool if we could find out who got to 21 floors first.
We totally could. We totally
totally
could.
could.
Yeah, but then you might be looking at their account going, wait a minute, that can't be possible, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the risk of being good.
So you haven't showed off the Parisa Rebellion yet, and I'm not going to ask anything about it because I know you're going to be saving that for the dev stream, but does it by any chance it doesn't bounce off of the Descendia game mode, as in they don't like have a shared currency or cross unlocks or alternative incentives or anything like that? Okay.
Totally separate.
Okay, that's
They
fine.
are
That's fine.
two very different. Yeah, I guess we haven't said anything about it, so you'll.
Yeah.
It has again, it's something completely new. It's a new type of thing we're trying. So just like the Descendia is a 21 floors, you'll see what Parita is. It's completely different structure, completely different tone.
But it's also tied
very...
to the Devil's Triad, or is it more Old Peace? It's Old Peace.
It's the operator's story in the Old Peace, and this Descendia is the drifter's story in so much as whatever happened in the Old Peace and where these characters come from. So they're two very different experiences.
Okay. So I'm gonna have to ask the Final Fantasy question.
Go on.
No, because there is so many games. I didn't realize that so many games have all different variations on, I guess, their different take on either tower modes or elevator modes. And I guess you could even say that Sanctuary Onslaught, to a degree, would be like that, right? You're not seeing the elevator going up and down, you're just going through portals. So
exactly.
Has there been any kind of, I guess, influence been taken from...
Like, full transparency, we copied ourselves. This was like, okay, What if we did Sanctuary Onslaught again, but if we made it very character driven, very diegetic to the Orokin story we want to tell, and not so much about a time trial in that, or like kill to survive, but something just way wackier, way more centralized Warframe. So we started with that as a general proof that it can be done even at a technical level, like streaming out and streaming in tiles, because when we first made that, the tech we used to do it wasn't meant for what it did, and it's come a long way since then. So we sort of had our technical proof it was possible for us to do it, and then this time around we had to add a true connector portal rather than just the time and space Samira sends you through. So we use that as our own inspiration. And then it's sort of hard not to play games where, whether it's like Mortal Kombat with tower mode or
I think there was one called I remember playing one with Clark called Godfall, which was like,
oh my god,
it was like an insanely shiny version of, like, they were trying to be Warframe type of thing, but it was just hack and slash. And it was, their game mode was literally on an elevator, and it went up floor after floor after floor, like literally, and as it got up higher and higher, enemies got harder and spongier and spongier and spongier. So it was the same.
Oh my god,
it was their take on it.
There you have it. Ours, we'll go up next time.
Yeah, Descendia. There you go, that's the next one.
Ooh, wow.
Oh, that sounded wrong, never mind.
I
know. Right, well, Oberon's rework has gone over incredibly well. Have you guys sat down and looked at any other, this is another one of Clark's, by the way, have you guys sat down and looked at any other frames that might need similar treatment in terms of, I guess, their lack of usage over the last 12 months? Frames like Limbo, like Banshee, like Loki, and of course a few others. So is there any kind of frame that's standing out at the minute for you guys, or a group of frames?
I think in terms of the feedback we get, that's pretty much the top three that we see. We see a lot of Limbo, and I don't know. Actually, I hear a lot of Zaku, and that one I don't understand because I feel like Zaku cooks.
Yeah, no,
but
I've seen ones asking for Dante, dude. Like, you know what I mean?
That is
so
wrong.
Yeah, but
categorically wrong.
Like Loki, Banshee, and Limbo. I can understand Limbo because Limbo has probably the most unique kit in the game in terms of the rift mechanic. And I guess there's the persona that whenever he jumps into co-op missions or online missions, a lot of people see him joining and go, nah, I'm leaving, because they don't like the rift mechanic, they don't like getting dragged in and out, and they don't like their abilities or whatever, not walking other weapons. So that's the only reason I could see Limbo. But the guys that play Limbo like Limbo because of the way he is. So you guys have like a fine line to try and, I guess, walk to when it comes to reworking frames like that, right?
Yeah, we haven't really taken the first steps to anyone. Now that we've finished walking the Oberon path, it's, where do you take your first step to make a careful and intentional walk towards something else? Usually it has to come from inspiration. A lot of it comes from statistics and community feedback, and that sometimes is the first step. But in other times it's just, close down Slack, play the game for an hour with a frame that is allegedly in need of something, and see if anything just comes naturally.
Yeah.
So we haven't even taken that step yet for the most part. So you'll have to wait for us to get it on the treadmill, I think.
When it comes to Banshee, And I wasn't going to mention a warlock. I was actually thinking more along the lines of a witch. Okay, avoid witch. Okay, but Banshee is an Irishman. Like you know what a Banshee stands for, right?
Of course, the undead souls of a woman and lost and scream, right? A female that's been killed and no.
Nope. A Banshee is a portent of death. She's a sign. So the thing about mainstream media that confuses a Banshee is they make her out to be this really scary spectral image that's here to kill you or whatever, but she's not. She's literally an ancestor that is there to warn your family that someone that you love is going to die. That's literally what a Banshee is. So she's not there to kill you. She's there to warn you that someone you know is about to die. So that's what a Banshee is. So if I could rework Banshee, that's what she should be. Okay. Anyway, moving on, right? With Lion Allard, with Marie LaRue, and with Roth entering the picture with the Devil's Triad. Oh no, that's just the exact same, Clark. Never mind.
Clark!
Never mind. I don't even know if that one was Clark. It's in the same bracket, so it probably wasn't. He was more or less asking about the lore, any older lore threads that you're planning on revisiting, so never mind that one. You guys have allowed us to romance the 3 new proto frames at the same time as you've allowed our other proto frames. So it's okay.
It's okay.
We are building in a consent mechanic, so it's not going to be done without the ability for you to smooth it over. And not even smooth it over, just you'll be able to have, if you want to do that and you care about the feelings of the other characters, you will be able to do that. Some people will just go for it, sight unseen, it's a game. Others will understand that games have meaning and can do it in a way that is quite law abiding, I would say.
It's in space, so it's okay. Isn't that
well,
what Pablo said?
If you listen to Pablo, it's time travel, so it's okay.
It's fine.
Hey, when I played Fable, I had 10 different wives in 10 different towns, you know? To each their
again.
Yeah, but
the game lets me.
Did you play as an evil character in Fable?
Both.
Alright, yeah, no, I just mainly did evil.
Evil was so good. I robbed everyone.
Yeah, so
I had flies around me, horns.
Yeah.
What a time.
There's a new one coming out as well soon, isn't there?
When is that coming?
Well, when Megan and I were playing Persona 5, like we knew who we wanted to romance, but we started romancing like a lot of people, and then we were like, does the game even allow that mechanically? And then we spoiled ourselves because we needed to know if we could. Like, could we have Anne? Could we have like everyone? Could we have Mako? Could we have everyone? Or Makoto? And the answer is no. It's like if you 2-time, they all show up on. I'm spoiling this. Spoiler for Persona 5. If you romance everyone, they show up on Valentine's Day and call you out for being a player, and then you don't get anyone. And you're like, oh damn, I should have stuck to one girl. So that's how Persona 5 and Atlas chose to handle that issue. In our case, we're doing it a little differently because we're a game as a service. And
so they're not going to show up at your door in Warframe, no?
No, we have to handle it differently because we're not a boxed product, and people, invested differently in live service games. So.
Yeah. The Cathedral with the Devil's Triad, that's not going to be... Is that a new base? I can't remember if you said that was like a new player base. No, it's not. It's just where you meet the 3 of them for dialogue. Okay. Where else are we? Operator and Drift of Face remaster looked absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I don't know how I'm going to make my operator into
Ronald
a monster.
McDonald?
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to happen. I'm literally sitting here going, how am I going to make Ronald McDonald now? It's going to look too good, Yeah.
The sexy Ronald.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Hey, Ronald.
It's awesome. The team they've taken great pride in taking what effectively feel like PS3 graphics and throwing them into PS5, to use console metaphors. It's beyond. It is, when we sat at the table at the beginning of the year and said, let's do an operator remaster, the fact that it is what it is in this state is like, there was expectations, and this is one of those things where it's better than we expected in every way.
And I think you said that players are going to get the option when it first comes to either keep what they have or redo everything, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's not lost on us that people identify with their operators and their drifters, right? Like you said,
Ronald McDonald.
Not you.
I don't want to identify with Ronald McDonald.
Not you.
Secretly. Alternate
I've got the costume in the
reality.
house, yeah. Yeah.
He's in the trunk.
Yeah.
No, but we know how important these characters and the visuals and like the time that people have put into them. So we're really proud of what the team has done in terms of what they look like now, and like it doesn't even look like Warframe. Like when we look at, you know, what mine looks like now versus what it looks like on dev currently, it's like, what is this game? Like, am I playing Baldur's Gate? Like, what is this beautiful operator in front of me? So really proud of that work. And yeah, we want to make sure that we're honoring the fact that people identify Ronald McDonald with their characters and making sure
We can't
that's
judge.
honored.
We cannot.
I'm not yucking your yum at all. I'm just saying.
That phrase
number
still
one
weirds
clown.
me out.
The what?
That phrase.
The phrase?
We're not mashing.
I
your
don't know what it
potato.
means. Do you know what I mean?
Not yucking your yum. You like what you like. I'm
Right.
not
So
judging.
when it comes, you're adding titles as well. I forgot. You're adding titles.
Yeah.
Is there any like ones that stand out, that new titles these have added, maybe just for fun, or is it all just related to, I guess, some of the achievements in game, or whether you're a founder or master founder and so on?
There's a really healthy batch of them. Again, our target was to launch with about more than 50 from all over the game, including the new content. So we're working on them. Like we got a chunk of them, and some of them are, let me see, titles. Yeah, there will be no shortage of ones to pick from. Yeah, I'm in a spreadsheet. There's a secret one for devs only, so if you're watching this and you're at DE, you get your secret title.
Is it
Yeah,
just
there's
going to say
currently
dev? Is it?
six- It does, yeah. There's 65 right now in the sheet I'm looking at.
I mean, if they don't want to invite the great and terrible DE Megan, then we have our
The
problem.
great and terrible, is that just because of the fashion choices?
Okay, Ronald McDonald,
Boom.
like we just talked about this.
You have delayed the wall running because you said it didn't feel right. What's the, I guess, the margin for, I guess, it clicks, that's it, it's right now? Like how do you know when you hit that it feels right, ready to ship?
It's just a tactical second to second thing where if my mouse or my right controller stick is feeling like it's doing the right flow state in Warframe gameplay, it's cool. Do I feel like I should be stuck on the wall right now? Like we call it the magnetism.
Yeah.
Do we feel like it's, if I get kicked off the wall, was that a fair and valid kick? Like for gravity or for directionality? And that type of stuff just takes so much time, and it typically requires native code because it's all our movement. So we just can't risk releasing it in a broken state, because odds are if we launch in December, we won't be able to fix it till January. So you just can't take that risk.
And I guess one of Warframe's big standout points is the fact that the movement is so fluid. So if you end up having a sticking point in the middle of it, takes from that.
Yep, exactly. And it's really, really hard to say we're doing it for the right reasons anyway, because you will have a philosophical design debate about why are we even touching wall running, no one uses it. There's no point in using it. There's never a scenario where wall running is the better or best choice, and that's a very hard pill to swallow, I think, if it's true or not. And ultimately wall hopping took over for practical reasons, and the reason we would want to go back to wall running is because it's unique and it has potential to feel good and be something people opt into using.
Yeah.
However, it's not like you can just turn it on.
Like TennoCon next year as well. You have that planning already?
You
we
would
announced the
believe
date.
it.
Yeah, I know you had said before we left TennoCon last year that the World Cup was around the same time. So it was, I think Beth was saying the World Cup is in Canada and the US at the same time as what TennoCon was last year. So it was going to make booking hotels and that quite difficult.
It's it's mostly the transportation, because it's in Toronto, and it means that if you wanted to get to London, Ontario, you have to route typically through Toronto, which is where the World Cup is. So it's going to be like...
Yeah, it would not be nice at all. The airport would probably be absolutely packed stupid.
Yeah, it's the biggest event I think Canada's held since their own Olympic
Oh, having the World Cup, is it?
Well, the Olympics were last in Vancouver in 2012, I think. So yeah, World Cup would be the biggest thing Canada's had for since then, I would say.
This is a question from one of my mods, okay? And I did actually see a Reddit thread about this, or a forum thread that might have been a few days ago. Is Warframe getting too sexy?
No.
That honestly, that is a fantastic question, and I honestly love it. And I think that's a great interrogation of what makes Warframe, because if you look back to the original designs, like Excalibur, Mag, Volt, Loki, they are quite, they're quite provocative, but not in a sexual way. They're just provocative in that, okay, that cod piece is there, and Excalibur's physique, like he has nipples that are like lit up nipples. And it's like, okay, that's provocative, but is it sexy? Is it just weird? Is it art in a way that is, it invokes some amount of anatomy mixed with whatever type of provocation you can imagine. Yeah. And I think that is a very sophisticated starting point for Warframe as sexy, because you can't point at it. Well, I guess you could. I'm not going to say you can't. I won't speak for people. I won't put words in their mouth. But I do think that it is a very valid and a very relevant question to ask, because, and I can take full responsibility and blame for this. I won't say it's anyone else's problem, but to focus on the anatomy of the heirlooms in the way we have was just because I think it's a beautiful thing. I think that beauty and aesthetic in Warframe should be able to go in all directions, whether it be provocatively weird like our original Warframe lineup, whether it be, this isn't quite a human and it's not quite nudity, it's something else. It's it's like an artistic expression of nudity in a way that isn't, in my opinion, it isn't pornographic.
Yeah, it's not crossing that line, I guess, because like, how do you decide what the line is between, I guess, what you see now and what you might see other games doing that are maybe the other side of the line?
Yeah, and like we have a line that we try not to cross, but we will flirt with it, and we will tell the story of Warframe anatomy and aesthetic and beauty and body in a way that I think still has, like, you could still put it in an art museum. It could be a museum after dark. I'm okay with that. It could be an 18+ museum, but you could still put it there because it's still unique. And I think it is extremely, and I don't want to disregard the people that feel like it is too far with the heirlooms. I understand that, and we make conscious choices year over year for what gets what touch and look, but at the same time, I think one thing that I really value in art is this type of thing. So ultimately, we're not going to go all the way in a way that hopefully makes people uncomfortable, but at the same time, I think a core part of Warframe's art is it is provocative. It has been since day one. So just be aware that you will always be, doing a little bit of a dance with taste in the Warframe art sphere. And that's been true. And
everyone has different tastes.
Yeah.
So the Kestrel Prime, why now for the Kestrel? I know that's a big segue away from sexy Warframe.
Because boomerangs are the sexiest weapon you can have. Boomerangs. Yeah. Well, I mean, the Kestrel lovers have probably felt abandoned since day one, and it was time to bring them back into the light. The Kestrel was the first Tenno boomerang, the first Tenno thrown weapon.
When was it originally added?
2020. It had to have been the year we did the glaive, because we did the glaive and then we did the Kestrel. So I'm guessing it was the same year.
When it comes to Plains, Fortuna, and Deimos, the Plains is the only one now that hasn't had an extra area added to it. Is that something, doesn't it? Is that something that we could be looking at any point down the line, or have you even considered that? Yeah, probably not. But
it's also the only one with a playable hub with Kome's game mode, so the other ones you can't do missions in the Necrolisk.
You could add another one in where you like punt Konzu into the sun or something.
We could expand the Plains of Eidolon, because you are right.
Because you have like the Undermine now with Orvalis, and then you have underneath Deimos, right?
Yeah.
So Plains is the only one that doesn't have that extra
And we even expanded Duviri with
Yeah.
the shit. We better expand it, Meg.
Put it on the list.
5 years from now, when he's about all the other stuff
Whoa,
that's already
whoa.
on the list. Well, he has loads of other stuff on the list, right? So,
Do you have any guesses on what the weapon type is that's coming?
He's a demon, right? Or devil.
Uh-huh.
So it's going to have to be something. I don't know. I'd love to think Devil May Cry-esque, where it's one that's going to morph or it's going to change or something into from one thing to another. Or
I guess we'll have to see.